thing I want people to take away from even the Verify Me story is that success begins when you're making the right decisions, right? Not when you see the alert from your decisions, right? There will be times where you're making the right decisions and you're not seeing the benefits yet, right? And that's okay. Focus on the best you can do every day. Now, this story about coming back to Nigeria. The truth is, at a time in my life, I was a portfolio manager, and I was working 100-hour weeks. A lot of times when people in this your generation complain, I'm just like, these guys don't know, right? I've done it all. I've gone to work I've gone to work at midnight every Wednesday for a 2-year, 3-year period because that's when we will take the ATM network down. And sometimes I won't come home for 24 hours, right? If because we're pushing code, for banks, and if there are issues, nobody's going home. And I've traveled on a plane at 5 a.m. every day because the customer was so angry, and we needed to resolve something. And you're literally taking a red eye. They didn't want to pay any hotel, you know. Um, and in 2016, I remember I had my first daughter, my firstborn, and 15 minutes after, and just because of how things were set up, I was on my laptop approving stuff in the maternity room, right? And because it had to get done. And I just remember thinking that, you know, I needed a little bit of a change, right? It had been, it was a great career. I had, become a portfolio manager, probably had about 80 people across my teams, managing hundreds of millions in projects. Um, but and some of these very visible projects, that we could see. I'm very proud of some of the things that we worked on. But America's a great country with a fantastic civil service that I think is the greatest workforce in the world. And I felt like I had an opportunity, like I said, to come to Nigeria, and contribute, but particularly with everything and all my 20 something years experience, working in America. But I didn't just move. I actually, what I did start doing, and this is the advice I would give anyone who's looking to transition back, is you have to come frequently first, right? Nigeria is not an easy place to land, right? So for 3 4 years I was coming to Nigeria 4 5 times a year,